From our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Rachel Williams begins now.
Good evening, everyone. A blaze which destroyed a warehouse in Newtown overnight has caused millions of dollars worth of damage. Residents say they were woken by loud explosions as the fire enveloped several vehicles on the premises.
Firefighters were met with this scene when they arrived at the burning warehouse on Creek Road just before 3:30 this morning. The property fully engulfed, shown in these photos taken by residents.
When the crews arrived, the whole structure was on fire. We called in another half a dozen crews to get that under control within about an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Neighbours say they were woken by loud bangs, heard as far as 2 kilometres away, and said to have come from exploding gas cylinders.
I heard a bang around 2, and then it was just more banging, and then I went in and woke Sasha up and we had a look and it was just all on fire.
Certainly there would have been a lot of noise from various different things exploding possibly within the building. There were a lot of LPG gas cylinders on the trailers and caravans.
With heavy smoke also encroaching onto neighbouring properties.
Like when we come out, all we could see was just black and just fire over there. There was nothing of it.
Investigators today sifting through the remains of the storage facility leased by King Trailers. A number of caravans and 1 trailer were also destroyed in the blaze, with the damage estimated at several millions of dollars. Crews have remained on scene for most of the day, with the cause still yet to be determined. An investigation is ongoing. Ruby Kamane, 7 Tasmania News.
Launceston's environmental challenges have been put in the spotlight today. More than 500 people turned out for the Resilient City Symposium. Flood management and recycling were major themes of the day, featuring in talks and displays.
We're talking about sustainability, our natural environment, emergency management, stormwater management, waste management.
The council says it's undertaking a year-long public consultation program to make the city more sustainable.
Lauderdale has shown its premiership credentials in the TSL with a big win over North Launceston. A 7-2 second half was the difference, with the Southern Bombers now 2 games clear on top. Glenorchy stormed home to beat the Tigers, while the Blues comfortably defeated the Roos.
It was 1 versus 2 at UTAS Stadium, with this result pivotal in deciding the minor premiership. In wet conditions, Lauderdale jumped their opponents in the first term, scoring 2-2 to a wasteful 5 behinds from North. Billy Edmonds tried to ignite the Northern Bombers in the second term with this long-range effort. Jordan Tepper levelled the scores in the second term, but Lauderdale still led at half-time. And they'd extend that lead in the third quarter, scoring 4 goals to none to lead by 25 at the final change. The Southern Bombers were too strong all round, with early goals in the final term sealing a big win. At Kingston, it was the Tigers who got the early jump, with 2 goals giving them an 8-point lead at the first change. Tension threatened to boil over at times as both sides battled hard. Glenorchy, however, found a way to get back into the match, Callan Daly kicking truly to help reduce the margin to just 2 points at half-time. The lead changed numerous times in the third quarter, but the Tigers were still in front with a quarter to play. But the Magpies found something in the final term, kicking 3 goals to the Tigers' 3 behinds to seal the win. And at Windsor Park, Launceston had a day out against Clarence, the Blues restricting the Roos to just 4 goals for the entire match, on their way to a 56-point win. John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
Well, it was a mixed night for our Northern men's and women's NBL 1 teams last night. The Northwest Thunder had a thrilling overtime win over the Melbourne Tigers 90-82. Down by 3 with just 2.9 seconds remaining, Kai Woodfall sunk a 3-pointer to take the match into overtime before the Thunder prevailed. Nick Banyard led the way with 24 points. Meanwhile, the Launceston Tornadoes were defeated by the Tigers 87-79. It was an even contest until half-time before a 26-15 third quarter from Melbourne sealed victory. The Tornadoes remain third from the bottom of the ladder, while the Thunder are 11th. Tasmania's oldest and largest hockey club has celebrated its centenary in Hobart. OHA marked the occasion with 8 games and even an aerial photo.
A celebration 100 years in the making. Generations of OHA players, supporters and members gathered for a group photo. They mark Green Day, which marks the centenary of the club.
We're proud to be a hockey club that's reached this age. We've survived wars, recessions, and we're still fighting strong today.
OHA takes its name from the former Hobart High School's Old Scholars Association. Since then, they've grown to be one of the more successful clubs in the state, fielding 28 junior and senior teams. They've also produced 9 national team representatives.
It's fantastic to see parents, grandparents and grandchildren who all play for the club coming together for one united celebration.
John Sargent joined in 1961, playing for over 50 years. His children and grandchildren are now also playing for the Greens, while he continues to passionately support.
The emphasis on family and friends, and it's been like that the whole way along. So we're now in the second and third generations all playing together and staying together. So
younger generations are also dreaming to follow in the footsteps of legends.
I want to play for states one day and A grade in Premier League.
You can go from under 5s all the way through to Olympic representation, all here in Tasmania.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
And last night, the Kookaburras trampled over Great Britain 6-1 in the Hockey Pro League semi-final. Eddie Ockenden's men will face Belgium in the decider on Monday morning.
Good evening. 18 degrees today in Hobart, Launceston, Burnie and Devonport, all slightly cooler with 15 degrees. 19 for Grove and Friendly Beaches today. 18 for Flinders Island, Campania and Ouse. 16 degrees at St Helens, Fingal and Strawn. 15 the top for Smithton and Wynyard, with 13 degrees at Cressy and also Scottsdale. Thick mid to high cloud moving in from the north across Tasmania today. A cold front and cloud band covers Victoria, southern New South Wales and parts of South Australia, with a second cold front and cloud band moving towards WA, the remainder cloud-free. Tomorrow shows a series of fronts in the bite, with a high over central parts dominating mainland weather. West to northwesterly winds 20 to 30 knots, reaching 30 to 35 at times about the west and the northeast. Seas between 3 and 4 metres higher through the south at times. Plenty of warnings. There's a gale warning for all coastal waters, a strong wind warning for the Channel and Storm Bay, as well as a small craft wind alert. There's also a minor flood warning for the Mersey River and a flood watch for the river catchments across the north of the state. On to the forecast. Showers in the south, 13 in Hobart and Richmond, 12 degrees at Ouse. 13 with some showers in Launceston and Devonport, 11 for Deloraine. 13 also for Burnie and Strawn, 14 the top at Curry, with showers through the east, 13 degrees for St Helens and Whitemark and 14 the top for Swansea. Statewide showers on Monday, more frequent throughout parts of the north and the west. Showers on Tuesday contracting to the west and the far south later, with a few showers for the west and the far south on Wednesday, but pretty fine elsewhere. Around Australia tomorrow, 18 degrees and sunny for Perth and Sydney. Cloudy conditions for Melbourne and Adelaide, 15 degrees. It's 25 and sunny in Brisbane, with a sunny and hot day for Cairns, Broome and Darwin. And it's not a bad evening this evening, quite warm, 16 in Hobart, 12 degrees in Launceston and 13 with a bit of rain in Devonport. That's all from me, Rach.
Wonderful. Thank you for that, Sam. Well, that's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening. Good night.